Have you ever wondered why certain people suddenly show up in your life, just when you need them, or sometimes when you least expect it? It may seem random, but in reality, nothing in your life happens without purpose. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, places specific souls in your path, some to heal you, others to test you, and many to shape the person you're meant to become. These meetings are not coincidences, they are divine appointments. In this video, we'll explore why Allah sends certain people into your life and how recognizing this can transform your perspective forever. 1. Divine wisdom behind every encounter. In our daily lives, we often cross paths with people unexpectedly, a stranger who offers kind words, a friend who shows up at the perfect time, or even someone whose presence challenges us deeply. While we might see these encounters as coincidence, in reality, every person we meet is part of a carefully designed plan by Allah. His knowledge encompasses all things, past, present, and future, and He arranges our lives in ways that serve a greater purpose, even if we don't recognize it at first. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows exactly what our hearts need at every stage of our journey. Sometimes He sends someone to remind us of our worth, reignite our faith, or simply be a source of comfort in times of sorrow. These interactions are not just emotional or social experiences, they are divine instruments shaping our spiritual and personal growth. The people we meet are often answers to prayers we don't even remember making. You might meet someone who brings clarity during a time of confusion or someone whose story makes you grateful for your own. These aren't random blessings, they are signs that Allah is listening, responding, and actively guiding your path. Even when someone enters your life briefly, they may carry a lesson you were meant to learn at that precise moment. Whether that lesson is about love, patience, boundaries, or forgiveness, it comes exactly when it is most needed. Through these connections, Allah teaches, nurtures, and refines us. By understanding that no encounter is accidental, we begin to see the people in our lives not just as companions or challenges, but as signs. Signs that Allah is near, involved, and always sending us what we need, exactly when we need it. 2. People as blessings or tests. Every person who enters your life carries a specific role, some are sent as blessings, while others arrive as tests. This distinction isn't always obvious at first. Sometimes, those who bring us joy and peace are clearly blessings, but even those who cause pain or discomfort can serve a divine purpose. Allah, in His perfect plan, uses both ease and hardship to draw us closer to Him. Blessings come in many forms: a sincere friend, a caring spouse, a teacher who inspires, or even a stranger who says something that stays with you forever. These people are reminders of Allah's mercy and love, placed in your life to support your faith and well-being. Their presence often brings peace, clarity, and strength, signs of Allah's compassion at work. On the other hand, there are people whose presence tests your patience, faith, and emotional strength. They may hurt you, misunderstand you, or betray your trust. Though painful, such experiences are never wasted. Allah uses these tests to refine your character, teach resilience, and guide your heart toward reliance on Him, not on people. It's important to remember that a test isn't a punishment, it's a process of purification and preparation. Through challenging relationships, we learn valuable lessons: how to set boundaries, how to forgive, how to seek justice without losing our own peace. Allah knows what each soul needs to grow, and sometimes, that growth can only happen through friction and struggle. Whether a person is a source of comfort or a cause of hardship, they are part of your divine journey. Both types are essential. Allah surrounds you with what your soul needs, sometimes to heal, sometimes to awaken, but always to elevate you. And in that, there is deep wisdom and mercy. 3. Growth through relationships. Human relationships are one of the most powerful tools through which Allah molds our inner selves. While we often focus on the emotions and outcomes they bring, we sometimes overlook the inner transformation they trigger. Every relationship, whether nourishing or difficult, offers an opportunity for personal and spiritual growth that we might not achieve in isolation. There are people who enter our lives and challenge our deepest insecurities. Their presence can make us confront things we've buried or ignored: jealousy, pride, fear, or emotional dependency. Through those uncomfortable moments, Allah is teaching us to examine our hearts, develop self-awareness, and purify our intentions. These experiences lead us to maturity, not just emotionally, but spiritually. At times, a relationship pushes us to develop virtues we lacked. Being close to someone demanding may force us to become more patient. Dealing with someone unpredictable may help us learn self-control. And being let down by someone we trusted may lead us to place our ultimate trust in Allah alone. None of these lessons come without pain, but all of them build strength and wisdom. Moreover, growth through others often happens in silence, not through grand events, but through daily interactions, subtle disappointments, and small acts of kindness. We evolve in how we respond, forgive, or let go. We begin to reflect instead of react, listen instead of speak, and love without expecting in return. Relationships are not just social experiences, they are spiritual classrooms. Allah surrounds us with people who unknowingly push us toward better versions of ourselves. When we view our connections through this lens, even heartbreak and loss become part of a greater mercy, a journey toward wholeness, humility, and a deeper connection with our Creator. Growth, after all, is the hidden gift behind every meaningful encounter. 4. Every person serves a purpose. In the divine design of life, no person is placed in your path without purpose. Whether they stay for a moment or a lifetime, each individual plays a role in your story that serves a higher plan. Sometimes that purpose is revealed quickly, a helpful stranger during a difficult time, or a friend who supports you through a crisis. Other times, it unfolds slowly, requiring patience and reflection to understand why that person came into your life. Some people are sent to guide you, not through direct teaching, but simply by being who they are. Their actions, choices, or even mistakes may serve as mirrors, helping you see something within yourself more clearly. Others awaken parts of you that had been dormant, your courage, compassion, creativity, or faith. There are also people whose purpose is to act as turning points. One encounter might inspire you to change direction, rethink your priorities, or reconnect with your Deen. A brief conversation could shift your mindset completely. You may not even realize it in the moment, but their presence plants a seed that later blossoms into something transformative. Even difficult people serve a divine purpose. They may expose your weaknesses so you can work on them, or test your principles so you can affirm them. Allah uses people as tools, not just to shape your outer life, but to awaken your inner self. Understanding that every person has a purpose brings a sense of peace. You no longer question why someone entered or exited your life. You begin to trust that each interaction is a page in your story written by Allah Himself. When you live with that awareness, you no longer see people as random. You see them as perfectly placed, with intention, wisdom, and meaning. 5. Trust in Allah's plan. Life often unfolds in ways we don't expect. People come and go, relationships shift, and moments that once made perfect sense suddenly feel confusing. In these moments of uncertainty, one of the greatest acts of faith is to trust in Allah's plan, especially when you cannot understand it. This trust is not passive surrender, but a deep spiritual conviction that Allah's knowledge surpasses our own limited view. Allah is Al-Hakim, the All-Wise. He sees what we cannot. The long-term effects of a connection, the unseen intentions of others, and the silent prayers we've forgotten. When a person enters your life, and especially when someone leaves it, there is wisdom behind it that may only be revealed through time. What feels like loss may be protection. What feels like delay may be preparation. Trusting in Allah's plan also means accepting that not everything needs to make sense immediately. We often try to control outcomes, hold on to people who are meant to go, or resist changes we don't understand. But faith teaches us that surrendering to Allah's will brings more peace than clinging to our own expectations. His timing is perfect, and His plan is tailored specifically to your soul's journey. This trust doesn't eliminate pain or confusion, but it gives you the strength to walk through it without being broken. It turns heartbreak into healing and disappointment into redirection. You begin to see that what Allah removes, He replaces with something better. What He allows, He uses to bring you closer to Him. When you learn to trust that Allah's choices are always in your best interest, even when they hurt, you stop chasing answers and start embracing peace. That is where real tawakkul, true reliance, begins to bloom. 6. Reflecting on each encounter spiritually. Every person you meet holds more than just a social or emotional connection. They are a potential reflection of your spiritual journey. When you begin to view your interactions through a spiritual lens, your heart becomes more aware, your mind more curious, and your soul more open to growth. The question shifts from, why is this happening? To, what is Allah teaching me through this? Spiritual reflection isn't about overanalyzing people's actions, but about examining your own responses. Did that person trigger impatience, or awaken gratitude? Did they mirror a flaw you hadn't noticed in yourself, or remind you of a value you had forgotten? Allah often sends people as signs, not always to change your path, but to change your perspective. Through them, He draws attention to what your soul needs to confront, heal, or elevate. Sometimes, the lesson is subtle, a brief encounter with someone who speaks with kindness when you're feeling unseen, or a difficult person who exposes how much you still rely on others for validation. These are moments of awakening if we pause to notice them. They invite us to ask deeper questions. Am I reacting with ego or with grace? Am I clinging to this person more than I am relying on Allah? By reflecting spiritually on each encounter, we begin to transform our relationships into tools of self-purification. We stop seeing people as good or bad, and instead see them as means, each carrying a message from our Creator. This mindset builds humility, patience, and gratitude. When you meet someone new or face a challenge in a relationship, take a moment to reflect, what is Allah revealing to me right now? That awareness alone can change the way you walk through the world, with purpose, depth, and divine mindfulness. Every soul you meet is part of a divine plan. Nothing is random with Allah. Trust His wisdom, reflect deeply, and let every encounter bring you closer to Him. If this video touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Profound Deen for more reminders. May Allah always surround you with people who bring light to your journey. Comment, Ya Allah, guide me through every soul you send into my life, if you felt this message deeply.